Hello, good Saturday morning, and welcome to Reinvention Saturdays. My name is Benjamin Kamoye. A great pleasure to be with you here one more time. I hope your week was great. I had a good one, a blast, lots of time serving leaders and just had a great time. And today, I'm going to have an opportunity again to speak here after this time at Centonomy, just talking about beyond passion into problem solving. So welcome for you who are joining us. Welcome. Right on. Again, remember, you are the most appreciable asset, and the main objective of Reinvention Saturdays is actually to add value to you, just to add value to you. I remember when I started my leadership journey at 19, I had the privilege of mentors, people who had gone ahead of me, see that I could be more, do more, and have more. And what they placed in my path were learning resources in terms of books and videos. And I immersed myself in that space, and I learned and I grew, and it quickly shifted the way that I was looking at life. And I began to see that my results were changing. And I have been a student my entire life, a student of leadership, a student of creating results. And I do understand that the value that you deposit within yourself stays within you, and you get to reap 100% of the results. You get to reap 100% of the results of your investment. And so Reinvention Saturdays are about adding value to you. Let's get right away into it. And for those of you who are just coming on, maybe this is your first time, kindly click like, share, and comment. And hey, let's do this today. If we're talking about something and an idea hits you, why don't you just go into the chat? Kindly do that. Go into the comment section and type what you just heard. Type what you just heard. Yeah, let that truth resonate with others that are also watching and that are going to come and watch later. Today, we're talking about the 7 levels of awareness, the 7 levels of awareness. And if you think about the results that you're getting right now in your life, yeah, are they the results that you want? Is there a result that is eluding you? Is there an outcome that you've been chasing for a long time and it's just not coming through? Why is that? What is missing? And I want to put it to you that there is nothing wrong with the marketplace. There's nothing to talk about the economy. In this economy, there are many billionaires being, produced. There's nothing wrong with the market or with the economy or with the situation or with the world. Or there's nothing wrong. What there is that there is a perspective with which you're looking at the market. There's a perspective with which you're looking at the market. And if only you could change that perspective, you could tap into higher levels of outcomes, realities that you have imagined up until this point. I heard very early when I started my leadership journey about Wayne Dyer. And he said this, and I love this quote, that when we change the way we look at things, the things we look at change. When we change the way we look at things, the things we look at change. It's not because the thing has changed, it's because you've changed the way you're looking at it. And when we talk about the 7 levels of awareness, what I'm actually trying to say here, it's almost like a staircase. And the higher you go up the staircase, the clearer your perspective, because you're standing on a higher vantage point, and therefore you can see more clearly, and then you can produce more results, better results. The inner game always runs the outer game. The way you think about situations influences your behavior, and that behavior then creates your results. So don't look at your results and cast them because they have ancestry. Go back and ask, how did I behave to create these results? And then go back deeper and ask, what are my beliefs? And how are they defining and driving my behavior to create the results that I have? And it's at that point that awareness becomes the key. By the way, as I have grown in my leadership journey, starting at 19, I can summarize what I have been able to create as a result of awareness. As a result of awareness. It's purely that. As I shifted from the patterns that were limiting my behavior and hence my results, as I shifted from it as a result of awareness, knowing, I knew, oh, that's why this is not working. That's awareness. You see, I believe that leadership happens in moments. I believe leadership happens in moments. Leadership is not title, is not position, it's not, what we sometimes think it is. Leadership happens in moments. In moment by moment, we are faced with decisions. There are choices that we need to make. And in order for us to move forward into our desired life, to make those dreams realities, we've got to make choices. And that is the leadership moment right there. When you are in a public transport vehicle and there is loud music blaring, and there's a woman who has a young baby that has just come from the clinic, less than 2 months old, and the driver is overtaking carelessly, and everybody is quiet inside that bus, hoping that someone else speaks. It doesn't matter who is in the bus, whether they have the greatest position in this world, whether they're the most knowledgeable person in this world. It doesn't matter. The leader in that moment is the guy who says, hey, driver, we have a young baby here. Could you please put down the music and please stop driving carelessly? Or we're going to take some citizen, arrest or do something on you. That is the leader in that moment, the man or woman who speaks out and says, this is not going the way it should go. Could you change this? Do something about this, or we're going to have to make you do it. That's the leader in that moment. And so equally, when it comes into your life, you are faced with decisions every single moment. From the moment you just land on your feet, the moment you wake up, there are decisions about how you will invest your time, about how you will go through your day. And those are leadership moments. And for you to lead effectively in those moments, then you need to be operating at a very heightened level of consciousness or awareness, as we're calling it. Because the inner game runs the outer game. Appreciate this, that consciousness then is the operating system of leadership. I want to say that one more time. Consciousness, or we're calling awareness, is the operating system of leadership. Let me give you an activity here. Play with me for a minute. I want us to surface this idea of what consciousness is. Is that okay? There's what you're thinking about right now. You're looking at me, I'm pointing at your screen, and you're really tuned in. But there is information that is beneath the surface in your subconscious mind that has not been surfaced because it is not necessary. Play with me here. Here's my question. Are you ready for me? I want to surface some information into your consciousness, into your awareness right now. And this is my question. When were you born? The date of your birth, the month, the year. You see those figures coming up here? Very good. That you are not thinking about that a few minutes ago, a few seconds ago. It has just, boom, come in there. The information was there. It has just come into your consciousness. Think about this again. What is your phone number? 07, whatever that may be for the Kenyans. All right. You can see that digit. Read it for me. Boom. Now it's in your consciousness. It's floating. It's floating in your conscious mind. And in order for us to step into, greater results in our lives, we have to step into higher levels of consciousness or awareness, because in those moments, our consciousness is the operating system, of leadership. If you think about the choices that you have to make, what is a choice? What do we mean when we say you need to make a choice? You need to choose. Am I going to do this or am I going to do that? There's always an option. You're always in having a fork in the road saying, I could go this way or I could go that way. If I go this way, what outcomes am I going to get? If I go that way, what outcomes am I going to get? In that leadership moment, appreciate that choice is a function of awareness. Choice is a function of awareness. I chose to go this way because I am aware. I'm consciously operating right now, knowing that if I go this way, this is the outcome I will get. And it's not just one choice, it's many choices that we make in a day. And those choices, have a compound effect on the outcomes that we get. And so the 7 levels of awareness for me shifted my results drastically. I saw ways in which I was constantly going up and down this ladder, and how by going down back the ladder, I limited and diminished my potential for creating the results that I want. Let's get into it right now. I'm going to share my screen right here. And we're going to walk through these 7 levels of awareness, 7 levels of awareness. I remember when I was running my advertising agency and I was trying to create results in the space of advertising, I constantly wondered and asked myself why I was not getting the results that I was getting. And to some point, I began to believe that some people are more lucky, some people have things going for them, and that was my narrative. Until I learned, wait a minute, it's because of the level of awareness you're operating from that you're saying that. And so we're going to explore statements and conditions, circumstances that can be, evident when one is operating from one of these 7 levels of awareness. Let's get into it right away. The lowest level of awareness here is called animal. That's the lowest level of awareness. Just as the word suggests, people who are operating in this level of awareness have got no clue what they want. They are not causative. They are operating in a world where they react to everything that happens to them. Life, nature gives them an agenda and they run into it and make it happen. I want to imagine that, a man or woman is driving in the morning, heading home or heading to work in the morning. And all of a sudden this bus cuts right in front of them. And this guy all of a sudden is angry and he's like, oh, how could you do that? You did that to me. Wait a minute. Now I'm going to get to you. And this guy starts to chase this bus and he's in a competition. He's trying to cut in front of him. He's trying to show him I know. He drives in front and all of a sudden slams the brakes. And I'm like, I'm going to show you who I am. You don't do that to me. This man or woman is simply reacting. They are operating at the lowest level of awareness. They're not conscious about what they're doing. They're simply reacting because they are held captive by their impulses, by their emotions. They're held captive. They're like an animal. Do this to me, I'm going to bite you. They're like a young child. Deny me my milk and I'm going to cry. All right. This is what's happening at this lowest level of awareness. Animal, the lowest level of awareness. The next level of awareness is mass. Mass level of awareness is where someone is following the crowd. They just follow the crowd. They say, oh, this is what everybody is doing. I often in my leadership sessions ask people, what is your purpose? What is your reason for being alive? And most of them don't know. And the comfort that I discovered they derive is in the fact that everybody doesn't know. Why did you take a decision to start the business that you started? Oh, everybody is doing it. Oh, nobody knows that. Oh, everybody. This level of awareness follows the crowd. In other words, I'm not clear about what I want. I'm not aware of what I want. And the decisions that I'm taking them because everybody is doing it. I'm not impressing my individuality and I'm not becoming aware of my uniqueness. I'm just doing it because everybody is doing it. This level of awareness can be evidenced, especially when one is running a business, by statements like, the economy is not good. Everybody is not making money in this season. Nobody is winning. Everybody has lost their job. This level of awareness finds comfort in the masses. It's like, oh yeah, It's happening to everybody. Even me, I'm part of that. I cannot change anything. This is the way things are, and follows the crowd blindly, not pausing to say, wait a minute, I could have different results. I could get a different outcome, right? By the way, for those of you who are just coming on, thank you so much. We're talking about the 7 levels of awareness. And if you've just come on, quickly click like, because there's a lot of stuff that we've said that's amazing. And then tune in, click share, right? And then begin to just type in whatever you hear that really connects with you. The lowest level of awareness is animal. And as we begin to move up, we move into the level of mass. You just follow the crowd and are not clear about what you want. But there's a third level of awareness that we get into, which is called aspiration. Aspiration is powerful because all of a sudden a blip comes into your mind. You become aware of an outcome. You become aware of a possibility. I could have this. I don't want to be stuck in this kind of a situation before. I don't want to be the victim of circumstances in future. I want to have some income that's coming to me on a daily basis. It doesn't matter whether there's COVID or what's happening. I don't want to be caught up in a situation where I rely on my employer, that when they let me go, my lifestyle changes. I don't want that. You become aware of a desire. But for most people, what keeps them stuck at this level is that all they do is dream and desire. One of these days, I'm going to start a business. One of these days, I'm going to, you just wait. It's just a matter of time. I'm just, one of these days is the statement that you hear a lot in this level of awareness. Just becoming aware of an idea is not enough to make that idea become a reality. More is required. Action is required. Plans are required to really make those ideas turn into reality. And so the person who is standing at the level of awareness is feeling slightly better because they're aware of what could be, but they are caught up in the second level of awareness, which is the mass level of awareness. Though they are aware and able to move forward, stuck into this level of mass, they remain stuck forever, not able to move forward and to bring to life that which they desire. And that's the level of awareness that I found myself in when I wanted so much to become a coach and a speaker and a trainer. And I kept postponing this idea. And I kept thinking that, circumstances will be better. The economy will change. Something in life will happen. And then, it will present me with the golden opportunity to go in and have what I desired in that moment. What I didn't know is that I was stuck in the level of mass, like the others, following the crowd and saying, one day, one of these fine days, I'm going to do something different. The next level of awareness that distinguishes us is the individual level of awareness. Now, I've not just become aware of a desire, but I've also become aware of my resourcefulness. I've become aware of my individual uniqueness. I've just realized, at this level that, wait a minute, I have certain gifts. I can express them this way. I can learn how to do this. I can create something. I can create something. Now, knowing your uniqueness, okay, which is preceded by having a desire, again, is a great place to be at, but it's not enough to change your life and circumstances. And by the way, while we're going through all this, I would like you to appreciate that we are normally operating at different levels of awareness in different domains and spheres of our lives, and that's why we're getting different results. You might find somebody who has a definitely high level of awareness in terms of financial, accountability and financial prowess and creating the money. But when you look at their physical wellness, it's suffering. They're operating at a different level of awareness in that way. And I'll unpack this for you very briefly. But as we are in the individual level of awareness, what we're becoming aware of is our uniqueness and how we can express it And the vibration of frequency of this desire is slightly higher. You're like, you know what? I could do this. You know, I could actually do this. I could actually do this. And so for someone who is moving from this level of awareness in mass, saying, you know, one of these days I'm going to do it, this level of aspiration says, you know what? This is what I could do. This is what I could have. And that person moves in and says, you know, I'm gonna express my uniqueness here. I'm gonna make something happen. And what they probably may do, if we're thinking about a fitness, they want to go out into the store and they will buy the gym clothes and they will buy the bag and they will buy the sneakers. They will pay for the subscription to go for the gym membership so that they can have their physical fitness in place. And they won't go to the gym. They'll buy the clothes, but they won't go to the gym. They will attend the seminar, but they won't take the action. They will hire a coach, but they will do nothing. They've reached a high level. Oh my goodness, this is, you know, I have a coach. And there's something to be celebrated there. There's a differentiation from lower levels of awareness. But the game changer happens in level number 5, which is the level of discipline. Discipline here, having become aware of a desire, and having known that you are unique in ways to express that desire and turn it into a reality, the 5th level of awareness then says, what must I do in order for me to get that outcome? Paul Martinelli, who taught me this, I love his definition of discipline. He says, discipline is giving yourself a command. Discipline is giving yourself a command and then doing it. I love that, because I noticed that I constantly was in this level of individual. I was expressing my uniqueness. I would draw my personal development plans. I would do my goal setting. I would say, this is what I'm going to get in terms of my income. This is my physical fitness. This is where I'm going to live. This is the kind of car I'll drive. This is where my children will go to school. And I felt a lot of pride in designing that kind of a life. But I did not follow it through with action. The discipline, the commitments that said every day I'm going to wake up at this time and this is how I'm going to run my day. For me to be physically fit, I have to do this, work out for this long. For me to be physically fit, I have to eat this kind of food so that my body temple is in the shape that it's supposed to be. For me to continue to earn an income, this is how I'm going to order my day. I'm going to fill it with income generating activities. I'm going to constantly be evaluating what I'm doing at every moment and asking, does this serve me? Does this move me forward in the direction of my dreams, goals, and desires? I did not have the discipline. And this is where 75% of the world falls, because not many people stick with it for long. They can do it for 3-4 days. Everybody can buy the gym clothes and pay for the membership and run into the gym and do it for 1 week, maybe a month. But they don't stick with it for 12 months, for 1 year. They don't stick with it. They give up somewhere along the way. They fall down into the lower levels of awareness. They fall down into mass. Oh, this thing doesn't work. Weight loss is a scam. Or they begin to look for shortcuts and they're eating this and they're trying to find this and try to get a shortcut, not realizing that every outcome, every great thing that you want to achieve is guarded by an obstacle. Everything of value is guarded by an obstacle. And as you try to go through to get the outcome that you want, you've got to become aware of the principles, the requirements that are in place to move the obstacles so that you can achieve the outcome. And discipline is the 5th level of awareness, where you're constantly giving yourself a command and going. At this level, persistence is what gives you the results. You stay in the game. You keep working at it even when there is no evidence that it's working. Paul Martinelli says that the absence of evidence is not evidence of absence. The absence of evidence is not evidence of absence. What does this mean? If you put a seed onto the ground, boom, and you cover it with soil, if you come 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 days later, do you see anything popping up? No. So there is evidence of absence. Yep. Yep. No. Nope. The thing is, there is a lot that's going on beneath the ground. And so the absence of evidence that something is popping up on the surface where I can see it. Yeah. The absence of evidence is not the evidence of absence, because if you go beneath the surface, you're going to find that the seed has split, and there's a root going downwards and there's a shoot going upwards. And then one morning you're going to wake up and then boop, oh, look, the evidence is here. And so when you are in the discipline level of awareness, you're hammering it day after day after day. You look at yourself in the mirror, nothing. You look at your bank account, nothing. You look at your influence level, nothing. You are hammering it day after day after day after day. Will you quit? If you're operating from a lower level of awareness, though you may have expressed your uniqueness, though you may be clear about what you need to do, if you don't stay with it, you will not get the outcome. And so when I am stepping into a task and assignment, I'm constantly in that place of saying, Benjamin, remember, what level of awareness are you operating from? Discipline is required. Level 5, discipline. Level 5, discipline. Level 5, discipline. That level of awareness is required for you to create the outcomes that you want. This is, if I stop at this level, I will not have subject. Let's go to the next level of awareness, which is experience. This is where the real learning is happening right now. You see, you've become aware of a desire in level 3. You've become aware of your uniqueness and you're expressing it in level 4. You have drawn out a plan of how you will actually achieve that outcome in level 5. You've given yourself a command and you've gone. Discipline, and every day you're hammering it and going and making it happen. It takes you 1 year, it takes you 2 years. You're staying in discipline. You're constantly engaging in self-talk and speaking yourself into it and believing yourself into those outcomes, and you're paying the price every single day. Painful, no result. There's nothing to show for. But remember, there's something happening beneath the surface. And that is the level of awareness that says, though I don't see it, I know that it's forming. I know that it's there. I just need to keep at it. That's what I need to do. Everything that's required for it to become a reality is happening. It is being clocked. And then one morning, boom, when you see the shoot coming up from the ground, when you go to the mirror and see, whoa, the biceps are coming. Oh, wait a minute. You see, the bank account is happening. My lifestyle is shifting. What happens in that moment is that you develop the experience of the journey, who it makes you become, and the awareness that it brings to you, and the cells of recognition that it brings to you is that, whoa, I can do this. So you've got success in one area of your life, maybe, and you know the principles that got you there. You know the awareness that got you there. And that's when you are experientially learning the process of creating the result. You've stayed with it for months, and then all of a sudden, the gigs are coming. I am not constantly sharing this every week on my reinvention Saturdays and looking at the numbers and saying, oh, am I going to come next Saturday, really? No. I am operating from the level of mastery, which is the next level of awareness. I know that in order for me to create any outcome, I need to understand what is my desire, what are the principles that really are guarding the creation of that outcome, and then what are the plans that I need to put in place to create that outcome. And then once I draw that up and I say, this is what I want, this is what I'm going to do, bam, I go into it. I have cells of recognition. I know it's going to take time. I know I'm going to dig. I know I'm going to put in the time and the energy. That is discipline. And every day Every day I show up and I do the thing. Every day I show up and I do the thing. And I do the thing. And I do the thing. Every day. Every day. Every day I do it. And I'm constantly looking at my input. I'm not worried and saying, oh, look, the result is not coming. No, no, no. Level of mastery says, what is my input? How am I supplying? Am I disciplined? How am I looking at this? What's the perspective here? Never looking at the outcome and saying there's something wrong with the market, as the level of animals, an animal and mass will say, there's something wrong with the market. There's something wrong with me. I think it's because, the government, this thing has been rigged. They don't want us to win. They're against us. Now, I know that everything of value is guarded by an obstacle. Again, for those of you who are just coming on right now, thank you so much. And for those who've stayed with us, I appreciate you a lot. Kindly click share. Let this information get to somebody. Because for me, it changed my life. It helped me understand how I was constantly going back down the lower levels of awareness and limiting my effectiveness. I have stayed in the coaching, speaking, training business and continued to impress upon the marketplace that I'm not living. I'm going to be here, and I'm going to be here for long. And that has shifted my impact. It has shifted my income. It has shifted the spaces and the opportunities that I go into. It has raised my level of awareness. And so in every area of my life, I'm operating at the level of mastery. I'm always asking myself, Benjamin, what is required to create that outcome? And I know that in order for me to be there, I have to constantly be standing in the level of mastery. And so back to where we started at the beginning, all of us are operating at one level or the other in a specific domain in your life. If you look at the 5 domains, the relationships in your life, if you look at the finances in your life, if you look at wellness in your life, if you look at purpose in your life, if you look at leadership in your life, those are the 5 domains. You are operating at one level or the other in these 7 levels of awareness. Any outcome that you're not getting is because of the level of awareness you're standing at. And I hope that you're operating at the discipline level, experience, and mastery, because in those levels, for sure, you will get the outcome. But if you find that you stop and quit, if you find that you constantly are giving up, you're operating at level 5 and coming below. Though you may be aware of your uniqueness, you are not impressing yourself and following through and adjusting the plans. Not the decision, adjusting the plans and saying, oh, wait a minute, I could actually do it this way. But you're in the game, you're staying there, you're staying with it, and you're not letting go until the outcome has been delivered to you, until the result you're looking for has been delivered to you. And so these are the 7 levels of awareness. And it's important for you to know in which level of awareness are you operating in whichever domain of your life. If you look at your health and wellness, why are you not physically fit as you would want to be? Do you have the body temple that you would want? Is your mental state the way that you would want? Is your spiritual state the way that you would want? Why is it not so? What level of awareness are you operating from? If you look at your finances, do you have the kind of money that you would want to be earning per hour? Are you earning your worth? And if you're not, though you may be aware of your uniqueness and of a desire to earn a certain amount of money per minute, per hour, per day, what's holding you back from actually earning that money and saying, here's the evidence, I have an invoice to show that this is what I earn? What's holding you back? What level of awareness are you operating from? If you look at relationships, in both work relationships and family relationships, the ones that matter, if you look at your marriage, for those of you who are married, if you look at your significant relationships, if you look at the relationship with your siblings, what level of awareness are you operating from? And how does that serve you? I remember this, that when my dad was alive, we had a frosty relationship just because of how we grew up. And as he got older and I became, more aware, I remember this statement that hit me to the core. And again, my mentor, Paul Martinelli, teaching in one of the sessions that I was in, said, the person with a higher level of awareness is always responsible for how the situation pans out. And when I looked at my dad, I was judging him severely for who I thought he had not become, the choices that he had made in his life. I was making different choices. I was hiring mentors. I was learning. I was growing. I was learning this kind of sweet stuff, the 7 levels of awareness. And I saw how I was being positive in the creation process, or how I was not. And I began to think, I think you didn't do this well. And when he said that the person with a higher level of awareness is always responsible for how the situation pans out, it placed a burden of responsibility upon me to say that now that I'm aware, how differently am I going to impress myself in this situation? You see, I was operating from mass. I was operating from the crowd. Yeah, dad did this and dad did this, and I think he deserves that. I'm not going to follow through. If he doesn't do this, then I do this. We all stay like that. No. I stepped into discipline. I stepped into experience. I stepped into master, and I said, this is the outcome I want. What am I going to do? I'm going to kill him with kindness. I'm going to smother him with love. I'm going to be there for him. I'm going to bless him. I will not look at what he did from his level of awareness. I'm going to measure myself by what I do based on my level of awareness. And it shifted the game of how I moved from being reactionary, which is what this entire half is all about. It's about reacting, to being creative, to being causative, to initiate, to being saying, what do I want? Make it happen. I have the resources within me to make it happen, and not going back and saying, The levels of awareness are powerful, and evaluating the one you're standing on is your leadership moment right there. To alter and change and say, this level of awareness is not serving me. It's sabotaging me from what I'm trying to create. What level of awareness do I need to step into? Boom, step into that and be causative and step in, be co-creators with God to say, God, this is what I want to make happen. This is what I want to bring forth in my life. What ideas are you bringing to me? And taking those ideas and saying, wow, thank you for giving me this idea. Let me put it into action. Action, 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 action. And if it's not going well, and say, I'm winning here, and here I'm not winning, go back to God and say, I learned this and it's great. What do I do here? Boom, he's going to give you another idea. Let's go, make it happen. And the results and the outcomes begin to happen. And you experience that process. And you master, and you have cells of recognition of, I've done this before. I've been persistent before. I've followed through. I got the results. I can apply the same principle in my finances, in my relationships, in my leadership, in my influence, in every area of my life to create the outcome that I want. That's really what I wanted to share with you here today, the 7 levels of awareness, and appreciating that the level that you're standing at significantly influences the results that you get. Thank you for joining me here on Reinvention Saturdays. Again, this time is about adding value to you. It's about increasing your level of awareness. And my desire is that in any of these sessions, you should walk out with an aha, just one aha, that then causes forward motion in your life. If there's something of meaning that I have shared here that has touched you in a way, kindly go into the comments and type it in. Truth resonates. You will hear something that someone else had. You're like, oh yeah, you heard that as well. I love that. I thought it was amazing. Type it in the comments below and eventually share this video. And for those of you who are watching on YouTube, kindly subscribe. Thank you so much. And I hope to see you in the next session. I'm going to be talking about the 7 powers of man. The 6 powers, not 7. The 6 powers of man. Powers that you've been given by God to be creative, to co-create with him. He's given you those powers. There is no animal that has those powers in the world apart from you as a human being watching me. So join me next Saturday, 9:30 a.m. East African time, as we talk about the 6 powers of men. I love this. It's going to be a game changer. Thank you for joining me here today. God bless you. Be well. Bye for now.